Hey guys, welcome back, and today I wanted to talk about tower placement in Rival Kingdoms. Now, I originally wanted this video to be about the entire base itself, but the part of information that you really want to know, I think, is just how I positioned my interior defenses. So, like I talked about in the anti-dragon or the dragon-proof base video, you want to put the watchtowers and sky watchers around the edge of your base in such a way that they cover all of the buildings around the edge of the base so that no dragon can pick them off, and such that it cannot sit at one of them and recharge its abilities. So that's the sort of exterior, not exterior, but the edge of your base. That's the deployment for those towers. So how about the interior defenses, right? So you've got several layers. My base has several layers. I don't know if that's how you want to do your base, but my base has several layers of defenses around the base. And, well, it's really 2 layers with buildings mixed in, right? So I have the sky watchers and the watchtowers on the outside, and on the inside I have the arrow launchers, the spell towers, and the catapults, and also the Primus conduit, but that's sort of up for debate as to where that should necessarily go. But basically, you want all of the defenses that have splash damage to be on the inside sort of ring around the base, so that they can cover more areas that someone might attack from, right? Because if they're near the edge of the base and someone attacks, if they're near the edge of the base on the top of the base and someone attacks from the bottom of the base, then you won't be getting splash damage on those troops. And especially with how often archers are used, it's really, really important that you can get splash damage on their troops from any angle that they might attack your base. Okay? So archers are weak to splash damage, and arrow launchers and catapults both deal splash damage, and depending on the tower that you use, it may have a splash effect too, but lots of spell towers are going to have sort of effects that take some time to do damage, like damage over time, or they freeze troops. So you want to make sure that your spell tower's effect has as much time as possible to actually take effect. So you want to put them in the back so that they can freeze the troops away out in front and get more DPS on them. Or if it's a spell that does damage over time, you want to have that time before they reach the base for the spell to do damage on them. And just in general, from any angle that your opponent attacks, you want their archers to be under catapult fire for as long as possible and as much as possible. So the only way to really do this is to put your catapults around the center of your base so that they will get lots and lots of hits on the archers, no matter which direction they attack from. The only 2 structures I'm not super sure about are the Primus conduit and the bunker, and I think the bunker would probably be more useful on the inside ring if I had room for it there, but I don't know if that's where I really want it. But it would give the troops more time to recharge if they do actually recharge and respawn. And the Primus conduit just really depends on your personal defense setup and where your towers are located, but obviously you want to have 3 or 4 towers adjacent to the Primus conduit if possible. So one last thing I'm going to talk about are the troop portals, and I don't think I have this done here perfectly by any means, but from what I've seen, I think it would be beneficial to have your troop portals as close to the base as possible, so that there's really no way for anyone to pick them off or get them soon on their way in. Because if you can keep your opponent from having mana for, several seconds while they're breaking into the base before they get to the interior layer, then that's time where they can't use any spells to, buff their troops or heal them, and that could really be a game changer. So consider trying to have your troop portals sort of more on the interior of your base. I managed to fit a couple in between my splash towers, but I think that would be something interesting to experiment with and see if maybe that could help out. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you found something useful.